Hello there, Hannah Zentgraf. The first time we talk actually one on one.
Absolutely. I was very curious on doing that finally, like stumbling over your name over and over again, and nevertheless never made it.
We probably saw each other on some relocate the profit calls in the past because I think that's also how we got connected. Um, I would think about 2 years ago.
Absolutely correct. Yes, absolutely correct. And always nice to see faces from Relocate the Profit all over because you automatically know that the mindset of the people is very similar.
And you're located in Düsseldorf, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. And I was in Düsseldorf in the summer, but you had some other things to do, better plans than meeting me, which, I can sort of understand. But I'm sure we're going to get another chance to meet in person.
Absolutely. And I would have canceled all of them knowing that you would be coming if it would not have been vacation with my sister
Yeah,
visiting.
yeah. Guess it was summertime. Hannah, what is a fun fact about yourself that people won't read on the internet?
They were actually similar. So I got a very nice brief from you on what to get prepared for this call or for this interview. And like there are so many things and totally different ones. So I got actually in my past, I got 14 earrings.
Uh-huh.
They're still there. I'm not wearing them anymore, not that often
Okay.
at least. I have a motorbike license. I used to drive a chopper, so not the Harley Davidson that point, but doing things like that. Something completely out is Carnival, which is not so far from relocation business, I would say, but just because you kind of dress up, make your own costumes, and have a lot of fun. So that's what I relate basically to relocation business.
Uh-huh. Okay. Carnival relocation. Now that's fun. That's funny. How did you end up in this business?
Um, as so many others, actually coincidentally, I
Uh-huh.
would say, a bit different than others. I did not have a life before relocation businesses, so I kind of grew up with relocation as my mother founded the company I'm working
Oh.
in 1989, so many, many years ago. So we're family business.
Oh.
And I basically wanted to save money for my first motorbike when I was 15. So I started typing documents on the typing machine. It sounds like I'm like hundreds of years old. But I'm not that old, but yeah, I mean, time changed quite drastically. And then never wanted to work with my mom, wanted to go abroad, see the world, and then ended up working for my mom, staying in the company, now being CFO, owning parts of the company. So it's yeah, things just happened.
That's pretty cool though. So your mom is still working?
Yes, she is. She's
Oh.
though only working in the background. So all the stuff I do not like to do in the
Uh-huh.
company,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
she still does. So she's yes, still actively, but not showing her face very often.
Okay. Oh, that's cute. Fantastic. And you're the CFO?
Exactly correct.
And so I understand. Okay, you've been born into this basically. You're probably,
Yeah, kind of. So
house hunting and these kind of things,
it just
as a baby already.
yeah, absolutely. So it kind of as a that it just happens. I really mean it as I say. So it was more like some when I was 16, my mom had a big project and you had to, yes, back then Immobilien Scout, which is very famous in Germany to search for flats, was not in place. So
Uh-huh.
I literally went out Saturday morning very early, got the newspaper, went on the phone, talked through with the people, put it in an email, put it together in nice Excel sheets, and send it through. And yeah, from there, I initially, I was, as I said, I was not very sure if I want to stick to it because I was more like a fan of psychology, doing things, always helping people. Yes, that was always my task, but more on a different level, I would say. Today, I think I could not think of anything better for me because you have this mix of staying in the office, going to appointments, doing like everything.
Hmm. And when you think about carnival, psychology, and relocation, what made you stick?
Um, for all three of them or just for the relocation?
triangle, this Bermuda Triangle. I'm sure these things are all connected somehow secretly.
Yeah, as I said, I see some connections between relocation and carnival in particularly. But I think it's the connection is really meeting people, meeting new people, meeting constantly new people, always kind of on the run in your brain. So always kind of connecting the different dots with each other.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think that's for me the triangle to stick. Plus, on top comes that I just realized how much I love the job. So during the years, I was just like, yeah, I mean, eventually you want to try something else, or you do not want to stick, and then you talk to friends and their hassles in the companies they are working for. And like, but just sitting in front of your desk and not doing a lot of things with people or just talking to them on the phone,
Mhm.
that's not really my type. So I really want to meet the people. I want to see their faces. I want to get them or guide them basically through these very stormy times of their life. So I think that made me stick to just kind of stay in there.
Mm, mhm. And are you mainly dealing with inbounds or
Yes, correct.
all
Absolutely
direct?
correct.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And I know in Düsseldorf you have an amazing big Japanese community, a lot
Yes,
of great
correct.
sushi.
Yes,
I had to
absolutely
try.
correct.
Yeah. So is that how your company grew from all these inbounds to Düsseldorf, or how did it get to where it is today?
Yes, it actually grew not necessarily only through the Japanese community,
Mhm.
but we mainly our clients, if you would have asked me 25, 30 years ago, okay, I was very young back then, but if you would have asked my mom back then, we had a lot more clients more in the Cologne area, which is not far from here. So it's just like half an hour ride by car. Um, but during the years, our clients or the companies we deal with were more like in Düsseldorf. And at the moment, we have or are building up more companies in Essen and Dortmund, which is even more to the north. Again, only like 45 minutes drive, but it's kind of constantly moving a bit, but not dramatically. Um, so yes, that Düsseldorf is in such a very dense area
Mhm.
where companies are located and big companies are located. Yes, of course, that definitely supported us.
And I assume, because you're so passionate about this, uh, there's no stopping you at the moment on this topic. But I hear you're also a mom. And you're also a founding mom of Relocate the Profit. So the organization we mentioned in the beginning, which maybe a lot of the viewers don't know what we are about. So can you talk a bit about Relocate the Profit, why we started, why you started with Ben and Miriam, and what kind of thoughts are behind this idea?
Again, coincidentally, I think as more as you talk to people, things just happen and you just have to kind of jump on the train and take it if you want to go somewhere. So the idea was basically to help other people. Again, kind of like this red thing through my life that you try to help where you can. And Miriam and I know each other a bit longer than we know Ben, and we initially wanted to found something for only for women to support women. And the idea came us on International Women's Day. That
Oh, I was on
unfortunately,
that call too.
sorry,
I was on that call too.
you were on that call too.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was,
that's why I started the Red Couch Talks.
oh,
That was
really?
my reason to start the Red Couch Talks. Yes.
That's really cool. Actually, I did not even know. You see,
Yeah.
again, a coincidence.
Awesome. Awesome. So,
So yeah, so that as you might remember, it did not work out as we planned it. And
mhm.
I think if you would ask me on a very personal level, I think we were just too far too big, trying to do too many things at the same time
Uh-huh.
back then. But the idea just did not let go from Miriam and me.
Yeah, yeah.
Miriam knows Ben or got to know Ben back then, and he was also very passionate about helping, supporting somewhere. And that's why we founded Relocate the Profit. And we basically did it a bit smaller initially. So we said, okay, if we end up only us three spending, and that's what Relocate the Profit is about, basically. So per bill we send out, we donate one. So for me, €1 and a bit because it's in pound. So €1, £1 to a non-profit organization who is supporting basically, and at the moment we are supporting basically in Tanzania, a company which is based though in London, and they support young women in coming safely to school, being able to stay in the school because the schoolways back there are quite far. Having sanitary works, also supporting farmers locally to kind of open up their own chicken farms or building up something to grow tomatoes. So from I keep saying from the standards we have usually in our world or in our surroundings, very simple, but yet so important and changing so much in the people's life we're supporting with that money. So we're excited, and we're interrupted myself again. So we said it's so important to support with like money basically, because from here, from Germany, from Düsseldorf, I can't change the world there, obviously.
Mhm.
But we said, okay, if we three donate every month, perfect. And now I think we're more than 55 people, and we just had a call 2 days ago, Miriam, Ben, and myself, and we buy now. So in the last, yeah, 2.5 years, we actually just got the figure that we kind of donated altogether £37,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm very proud. So yes, baby, you're absolutely right. It's I'm very passionate about that. And yeah, I'm very proud that it's working, that there are so many people involved, that it's the network you build up with that on top of basically what we initially thought. So we were like, okay, we just donate, perfect, everything good. But the network we have, so we visit each other, like you coming to Düsseldorf saying, hey, I'm around. And other people do that as well. So Ash, basically, who's based in London, and who's in cars, just as very general, he came here last year and drove 2.5 hours with like during his private time in Germany with his friend to visit me here in Cologne.
Very good.
That was super nice.
Yeah, and it's all sorts of funny connections that we make. But we're also trying to support each other. We are all boutique companies, so trying to, build a different kind of collaborative environment in our industry. And I love that because I really think it's needed. Brings more human touch, better service to our clients, but also, funny things like one of my RTP colleagues from here from Zurich, we met for a drink at some stage, and then she asked me if I knew somebody who could write a book on global mobility from an HR perspective. And I said, what about me? And she introduced me to a publisher. So, like
Oh,
these kind of amazing connections that just happen out of this group. It's just cool. By the way, I'm also going to have Julian Page on the Red Couch.
oh, nice. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's really
He can
cool.
talk a bit more about the work they do in Tanzania because I
Yeah,
always find it very inspiring and
it is.
yeah.
It is. You change the world even though you're not there. And I mean, it's for me, you hear all these bad things about nonprofit organizations or when you donate money, and then when you literally see what it can change if you have the right people doing it,
Yeah.
that really, yeah, it warms my heart very
And
much.
then you see the impact of, your donation as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I will skip a few questions because I have 100 things to ask you,
All good.
like things, that I find kind of interesting because, I've, I've left Germany 16 years ago, so I'm not fully up to speed on what's going on there anymore. Very like locally driven in Switzerland, but you're also on the board of GARP, which is a funny abbreviation for the German Association of Relocation Professionals. Do you remember that GARP was a novel by John Irving?
I actually just found out very recently because we made
Just
a
fun.
very, yeah, because we made a very nice, again,
Yeah.
coincidence. A very nice connection. One of our members was actually on an official meeting, and she met someone from the work council who just got in touch, or who basically got her in his memory because of that novel, because
Yeah.
he thought initially that we basically made that connection. I was like, okay, I've not heard of it. I ordered it. I have it here to read it because now I have to read it.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing book. It's an amazing book. But when I saw it, I was like, okay. So, and here in Switzerland, there's an association. It's called Zara.
I know.
I guess that's the equivalent of Euro in Switzerland. So, all these funny abbreviations. But what do you do there? Can you tell us a bit more?
Yes, and Zara is actually a good kind of hint where it's going. So it's we are not kind of the same than Euro on a European level, but
Uh-huh.
more national level.
Yeah.
We are trying to kind of get together on a professional level to get the relocation branch, I would say. So the general relocation businesses, which is obviously not only like pure DSPs or like relocation agencies,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
also insurance companies, furniture leasing, whatever you can tell, because all of us are kind of depending on the same things. And I have heard from other associations in Europe that we all have the same problems. So basically, not getting appointments, not getting work permits properly done, things are too slow. Online is an alien basically to the authorities still. So house hunting market, horrible. You can't find flats, not affordable. Kindergarten spots are not there. So everything what we all fight basically with.
Mhm.
And we said, yes, obviously we are competitors, but we can only get stronger against all these problems and make a voice for our kind of topics if we stick together and if we kind of show that we want to work together, that we're not against each other, but that we would like to have it better for all of us. Because I mean, but that's my personal opinion again. With that many people kind of stop working because they're going to get retired, we need people. And it's not only in Germany, but it's basically a very international problem, I would say. So if we can't do something and attract Germany, in my case, or other countries in Europe to have people coming, it will be super complicated. And we in Germany, for example, we have big campaigns advertising for people coming, and the people come. So that's the good part. But
Yeah.
then here, the high professionals cannot really like get the support they would need to make them stick in Germany. So all these things together in a very short kind of trying to summarize like all the topics we have is what we're trying to get together. And on top comes that we decided that on last year's Euro that together with the Euro board and with the other associations like Zara, for example, or ARP from England, and there are some others, we try to get connect better. So we kind of invite each other to the different meetings we have. We invite each other to the different online meetings we have where you can learn about the different things. So we really like share information as well because you only like that learn and can take it for your own business in the end, like very long shot. But
Mhm.
that I don't know in detail what is happening in Zurich, for example. You hear mumblings, but if you are in the Garb community or in the Zara community, and you can talk very openly about it, then it does help you in your own job as well. So it's another passion, like relocate the
Yeah.
profit of my
Yeah.
own job, where I try to kind of stand up for our businesses and say, okay, we are here, we are important. And it's not only about like the big advertisement you make to say, yes, we need something, but we need to change some things to be able to attract the people coming. And
Yeah.
we have to work together.
I think that's a really, really important topic. And I might have to contact you at some stage to get a bit more insights because I'm actually working on a talk about immigration into Germany and, what kind of chances this will have impact for global mobility coaches and expat coaches and intercultural trainers.
Mm.
Because we see, we see a lot, what's talked on the outside, or what potential expats talk about. And I know a lot of people would love to move to Europe, and Germany is one of the countries that they would be interested in, same as Switzerland. But then there are all these hurdles, and there's a bit of an issue at the moment with the reputation as well, which is a shame because, as far as I can remember, Germany has always tried to become an immigration country,
Yeah.
and there would be so much potential there. So yeah, it's great that you picked that up. Can I ask one more thing? How about spousal support and spousal career issues? Is that one of the pain points that is being talked about?
It is not talked about enough. So there are a lot of pain points, I would say. It's not only spouse support, but also children support. So it's a lot. Also there, it's a lot of different topics which make like the full package, I would say, not so attractive because people don't talk about it. Um, but also having said that, also with cultural trainings, I mean, if you remember 20 years ago, it was like, ha ha ha, cultural trainings, no one needs that. And today it's like a very, very important point in relocations. I think it's about a mindset of the companies in first place. Yes, the spouses are not supported enough, if you ask me. Also different reasons. They are not invited in different calls. They are not really like caught up with. They can't connect very good, especially if they don't have kids yet.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of things. There are programs, not enough. There are different apps nowadays, and I mean Facebook, Instagram, etc. You can go into groups, but you have to get very active yourself. From my experience, though, and dealing with so many people, not everyone is such an extrovert to be able to really go there. Um,
exactly.
to take
Exactly.
your phone and
Yeah.
just like put something inside is one thing, but to really get yourself ready, get out, talk to people, is different. I mean, we from our business, we are used to that usually. You have to be able to chit chat, you have to be able to talk to people. No matter what question comes, you will just answer it because it might be a different culture,
Yeah.
it might be something that just popping up in their mind. But really like do it. And for the people working, so for the employee, that's rather easy.
Yeah, sure.
Also in
Because they
Germany,
already have a job.
exactly. And also in Germany, very different to a lot of other countries I know. You are invited through work, yes, but it's very much separate. It does change in the last year. I can see that the younger folks is basically they meet up for more things than just for work. But the typical conservative German, and I'm sorry having to say that, I'm allowed to, I have the German passport. But you do not meet the people outside. So I'm friends with a lot of my clients. Um, so I'm friends with a Pakistani family since COVID, basically. So I supported them through COVID, and their daughter's my daughter's age. So we up to today, we still meet. I'm not supporting them obviously anymore, so they are good to go, I would say. But they keep telling me that I'm their only German friend
Mhm.
because they try to get in touch. And then I ask my friends because in the end, I like to know why, how comes, because I'm so open-minded. What happened basically? And my friends kept telling me, yeah, but the people are just there for a certain time frame. Why should I put effort in a friendship?
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't understand. With today's possibilities, I mean, phone calls, you're far away from me at the moment, but yet so close. So why is it not necessary or interesting to kind of open up your whole world? My mom told me something many, many, many years ago. I think it's most like 25 years ago. And I was like, oh, I want to see the world. I want to go there. I still love traveling. That's out of question. I still love to see the people. But my mom told me, the cool thing about our job is that people travel the world, but the people come to us and tell us about their travels and about their experiences in the world. And I think if you are open-minded enough to share this information openly, then you get so much back. And I mean, the things you just know and all these small little tiny things you learn about the different cultures
Mhm.
is for me so much worth it. Yes, it might be a friendship for a time frame, but due to, as I said, social media or phones or WhatsApp or whatever you want to call it, you can talk to the people no matter where they are. I mean, my sister lives in the US. The only bad thing is the time difference, yes. But if you have WhatsApp, Telegram, and etc., you can just, I mean, text. It's easy. You can stay in touch if you want to.
It's a very interesting topic you're touching on here. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you is, when you think about how you build connections with people, especially if you work interculturally, what is your secret? What's your favorite way to do this?
I think it's a long shot.
Mhm.
First, for me, it's a natural thing. I'm very authentic, so it's very hard for me to try to mask myself and do something, which is sometimes a pro, sometimes a con, depending on whom I'm talking to. Um, and I do not, I try to be very optimistic about everything. I think that's my personal secret, that I try to always see the good things in it. I can learn so much. So no matter if I meet the people for 5 minutes
Uh-huh.
or 10 minutes or 10 years, everything I open up with, the other person will mirror me. So they will be honest to me as well, and I can learn so much from the other people.
Mhm.
Plus, on top comes that, as I said just now, it's a long shot. It's not a quick one. It's not something you kind of quick try to, okay, I take my tasks and then I tick them off and then I go to the next topic or to the next person. But it's more like I want to see the person. And it's something privately as well as business related. I do in both worlds, I would say. So I try to be always friendly. For me, it's not hard. I'm always friendly. That doesn't mean that I'm not direct or that I can't tell the people what I'm thinking, but more I try to stay friendly. I'm interested in what the people tell me. And it might be yesterday morning, I did something. I had to take over an appointment for a colleague of mine. And it was a very sweet Egyptian couple, and they asked me about politics in Germany.
Mhm.
And usually I never talk about politics with my clients because you just don't do that. You just don't. But they
Like
ask me,
it's a level too intimate already.
yeah, exactly. But if they ask you, I'm like, are you sure you want to hear my opinion? Because it might not be your opinion and it might not be, hmm. So I was trying to sneak myself out, did not work out, but they were super friendly. They were really interested in what I was saying, and they thanked me afterwards for being so honest. And I think that is the thing. So I warned them basically upfront, but so my experience is always the same thing. As long as I stay honest, I don't want to hurt people, no, and I'm not too extreme in my life anyway, so that's quite simple. But as long as I stay honest, it will come back to me.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. It's a good strategy to stay authentic and honest.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes, we might have to change our behavior a little bit depending on the context and the culture. People
Yes.
we deal with could sometimes, make it necessary that we adapt a bit the behavior on the outside.
Yeah.
Um, what
Or you,
about global mobility training and HR training? Um, I might have mentioned to you that I teach in a course for global mobility managers and HR professionals in Rotterdam.
yeah.
And I often use the call to sort of validate, what we do. If you had a say in the curriculum, what would you say should we teach global mobility managers, HR managers inside companies?
Communication skills. And it's not
Good one.
communication. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
communication because I
Mhm.
thought about that so quite not long. It was more like how I can put my words around it properly to get the point, what I mean. So it's not about the chit chat. It's not about
Mhm.
just this like, how was your day? Are you good? Yes, but you don't mean it. But it's more like really listen to the people. And if something is unclear, what you just said, like relating to that, if something's unclear, you miscommunicate because you might not understand due to cultural problems or language problems. I mean, my English is not perfect. I might misunderstand, and the person on the opposite side might not be mother tongue in English, so they might not understand what I'm trying to say. Sarcasm. I love sarcasm. I have to take it out very often because the people do not understand it. And not because what you were just saying, that you kind of have to adapt on how the opposite person is. So I do not sell myself then, but I just try to make it easier for the other person. So I always ask the question. So if someone tells me, okay, listen, no, I give you a different example. Sorry. Communication skills. So what I mean is I had a client many years ago, an Indian client, and he was super nervous. He came here with his wife. He was invited by boss, I don't know, super important. And he called me up one day before and was like, "Oh, Hannah, I have that meeting tomorrow. And I know that you bring something when you go somewhere, when you're invited. I have no clue what you bring in Germany." And I was like, "Usually, if I go somewhere, I bring flowers and I bring wine. So, depending, of course, on religion, but that's what I bring if I go to a German family." 2 days later, back then I texted him and I was like, "So how did it go? How was it? Did it went well?" And he was like, "Yeah, it was kind of awkward because I brought red roses." So, so
Cute.
it's a very good example what I mean with communication. I did not think about that flowers automatically mean nice red roses, but I did not think it through properly, not from a different perspective, or that it would be super new for someone. And I think that's it. Not trying to say, yeah, but that's a mistake or that's wrong, but eventually say, okay, but why did you think that? What gave you the impression on having to buy red roses, to stick to the example, but more to say, okay, flowers in terms of, and maybe know that you are constantly learning no matter what age you are. I think that I mean with communication skills.
Mm. Yeah, it's one of the cultural things that we do. We make assumptions.
Absolutely, which
And
is important.
that we say we think, well, that's obvious, but it's often not obvious to the other person. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And even if it's so obvious, and if people have been living abroad for years and knowing different cultures, as I said, I learn things every day as well,
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, you mentioned listening, and in a previous call, we just had the same topic about, listening skills. And I'm honestly not sure right now if that is part of the curriculum, but I think it's definitely an idea to think about. Maybe, I have a lot of like coaching practices on these topics where, I could probably do something instead of teaching them, some crap about tax law that they will forget the next day. Maybe
Interesting.
maybe just a little exercise in listening would help.
I think the soft skills get, or eventually there is the chance that in future with AI, etc., that we lose soft skills, which is yet so important in our businesses.
Mhm.
Um, and a little funny, very kind of related thing, to kind of the authentic thing and to listen to also to yourself, basically, not only to others. So I had to send you that my short curriculum, basically my very short CV. And it's always super hard for me to do that. I hate writing CVs because I'm always like, yeah, I'm not so important. I'm not so special. I'm not doing so many things. So most likely a lot of people think that. So I gave it to my partner to read it through and tell me what he thinks about it. I was like, Hannah, don't you want to put in some more things about your like professional things? So don't you want to put in some more? And I was like, hmm, maybe you're right, but it's not something what me personally is for me is so important. For me, important is try to be authentic, try to be yourself, try to get out there. So I think also there to stand up for yourself, and to learn that even though 20 other people might do different, it's not necessarily wrong what you're doing. And I think that is also super.
And at the same time, you can show up with your weird. That's
Oh
what I
yeah.
learned from one of the gurus. Like I love the fact that you have 14 holes for earrings. I would never have thought that. I would never have thought that you drive what did you say, a chopper?
A chopper, yeah.
Yeah,
A
I mean,
Honda Shadow.
I hardly know you, but still, like it was not what I got as an impression from you right away. I see you as a very competent relocation professional, a CFO of a company, an owner. You know, like I have a whole lot of conceptions about you, but now
Thank you.
you're a bit more human now.
And I think that's exactly the point. And I do the same thing in my team. So we talk very open, even though it's very unusual in Germany. And so my team is between, I think 24 is the youngest and 62 is the oldest.
Mm,
So, and I talk very openly about everything. So if they ask me questions, I'll just answer and see. And it was about coloring your hair. And I was like, oh, I had funny hair colors on me. So I was red and I was purple and I was black. I was like, you? I was like, yeah, of course. Since I'm only 40. I'm not like
I'm not
what?
a dinosaur, a
Yeah,
boomer. Mm,
exactly. So I had to find the pictures and I showed in my team the pictures of me with funny hair and with the earrings and on my motorbike. And it's yeah, I like the I think when you're younger, you always try to hide away if you're a bit different and eventually weird. And then when you get older, you're like, screw it. What's the worst thing happening?
yeah. So what? Yeah, it makes you human.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
and you also mentioned an event. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yes.
What is coming up for
Um,
you?
so it's for relocate the profit generally, very generally. If you want to join, just jump on us. It's we're just trying to do something good together, basically. And I'm very happy that you have Julian on your red couch as well. So that's super nice. So I'm not going to advertise that too much, but I would love to see everyone around there. On top comes that Garb, what you were mentioning earlier as well. So thank you for that. Is doing an event on the 13th of November in Munich, in Germany.
Mhm.
It's only the save the date so far. I think it's planned to send out the official invitation next week. But yeah, we will have a nice evening together to kind of network, to talk about what exactly we do in a bit more detail. A lot of our members will be there already. And we are planning, we were in Berlin. As far as I remember, the next one is planned in Frankfurt, basically, but I don't know yet when exactly. But yeah, 13th of November, mark it in your calendar. I would love to see
Yeah.
as many people as possible.
And we will add the link to the show notes. Also, a link to how people can connect with you on the website, relocate the profit, what it is. And I have taken the liberty to add your LinkedIn profile as well.
Oh, thank you.
Can connect with you also directly because sometimes it's just easier if you've already seen a face. And everybody, please make sure that you refer to the Red Couch Talk so Hannah knows how you got there.
Yes, please.
And then I hope to see you at some stage in person. Um, I will be in Germany in November for the Theater Germany conference and then for the HR Tech conference in Leipzig.
Ah, nice. Okay.
So there is a bit of there's a bit of potential, but I'm not sure if you are going to any of these events. But I'm
No,
sure we're going to have an RTP event again at some stage, and hopefully this time I can go because last time I couldn't. There was
I'm 100% sure. And we should definitely connect more often because it was very nice and it did not feel like an interview at all.
that's great because it's not supposed to feel like an interview. It's supposed to feel like a chat with a friend on a couch.
And it felt exactly like that. I
Also,
loved the introduction you made in like what I can prepare for, and that you explained a bit like where they were at couch. I really literally loved that. So it made me feel very good. So thank you for that.
awesome. Thanks, Hannah, and I hope to see you soon. All the best.
Same here, same for you. Talk soon. Bye.